Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the Signature TV 30 Minutes. I am Obomanu Marvelous Chinedu. Now in the headlines, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Timipriye Silva warns of likely petrol scarcity over delay in resolving labor issues. Federal government extends national identity number registration by 8 weeks. Abuja laments closure of markets as federal government goes tough on COVID-19 protocols. And now, the details. The Nigerian government is worried about the possibility of a scarcity of petroleum premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, in the country. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Timipriye Silva, raised the concern on Monday at a late-night meeting between the government and leaders of the organized labor. The meeting was a continuation of the series of dialogues between both parties in a bid to persuade the labor unions not to go on strike over the increase in the price of petrol and electricity tariff. At the resumed sitting, the Technical Committee on PMS presented its report, while the Committee on Electricity Tariff said its work was ongoing. Presenting the report, Chairman of the Technical Committee on PMS, Onoche Anyoko, highlighted the areas where the government should work on to reduce the price of petrol. Thereafter, the meeting then entered into a closed-door section to consider the report presented by Mr. Anyoko, while the labor leaders requested 21 days to study the report. After about 3 hours later, Mr. Silva and the Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, who was also at the meeting, briefed reporters on the government's decision on the report presented. Mr. Silva warned that another 3 weeks to study the report could have an effect on the availability of petroleum products in the market. The federal government on Tuesday says its decision to close the popular Wuse market in Abuja was to stop the uncontrolled violation of the COVID-19 executive order signed by President Muhammadu Buhari to contain the spread of the virus in the current second wave. The head of Public Enlightenment and National Enforcement Task Force on COVID-19 spoke exclusively to SignatureTV's Chiwezo Obi.
The head of Public Enlightenment and National Enforcement Task Force on COVID-19, Ekaro Atta, said the closure of Wuse Market was ordered by a court. He explained that both the traders and the management of Wuse Market operated the market in complete breach of all the protective protocols contained in the executive order signed by President Muhammadu Buhari to contain the spread of the virus and keep Nigerians.
Yeah, the reason why the market is short is because President Muhammadu Buhari actually signed a presidential executive order saying that the establishment occupier should be able to enforce COVID-19 compliance in the property, and in Wuse Market that wasn't complied with. So what we saw was a violation of part 2 of the presidential order, subsection 8A to F. So we had to come in, arrest persons here who are violating, take them to mobile court. On getting to the court ruled that the violation was too heavy and so the properties should be shut.
Ekaro Atta told Signature TV that the Wuse Market could be open soon, but that would depend on the level of compliance to the COVID-19 protocol by the market management and the traders.
It is in their hand now. The judge, her lordship, Idayat Akoni, ruled that put it in place and be open. So it is left for them to put in place and be open. What are they putting in place that is so simple? This rubber for washing of hand. Are you getting me now? Sanitizer. This soap that used to put nail inside. This local soap that people can wash their hand. These things alone will not even cost you 4,000 naira. But nobody cares about it.
Some of the traders said, however, that their business have grounded by the closure of the market and that its impact would tell on their businesses, which are struggling to recover from the previous economic lockdown.
Actually, they're not supposed to close markets. Let them take any action possible apart from closing market. Closing market will cause many bad things.
Some of us are selling perishable goods like frozen food. Even as I talk to you, my market is in the shop. I did not put it in cold room because I did not have invite us. They didn't tell us that they are going to shut the market. When they inform us, we normally know how we do it. And it's not good about it, because even when the goods spoiled, nobody will answer us. Definitely they will comply now, because if you get inside the market, you see that many places has buckets and sanitizer and everything, soap. So they just take them on away.
The traders, who promised to comply with all rules stipulated in the presidential executive order, cautioned that besides killing their businesses, a prolonged closure of the market could lead to loss of jobs and difficulties for many families. Chibueze Obi in Abuja for Signature TV.
The police in Abuja on Tuesday confirmed the kidnap of John Makama, father of Buhari Area Council Chairman John Gabaya. CSP Bayodun Makanjuola, the divisional police officer in charge of Buhari's police station, confirmed the incident. Makanjuola said that the incident happened at about 1 a.m. on Tuesday, adding that the police were gathering details of what actually transpired. He said that the victim was kidnapped alongside his two other siblings, adding that the police were strategizing to rescue them unhurt. A family member of Makama explained that the gunmen stormed the home of the victim and shot sporadically into the air. The source said the gunmen initially seized Makama, his wife, simply referred to as Mama, and two others, but released Mama after her husband's plea. According to the source, the kidnappers left a contact number to reach them and had already requested for an undisclosed amount to be paid as ransom before the victims will be released. The federal government has extended the linkage of the National Identity Number (NIN) to subscriber identity models by 8 weeks. News of the extension was contained in a statement signed by spokespersons of the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Nigeria Identity Management Commission. According to the statement, which was issued on Monday, the extension was approved by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami. The new deadline for the exercise is now April 6th. The NIN exercise and deadline attached to it has drawn backlash from several quarters over its timing, as thousands flock of registration centers flouting COVID-19 directives such as social distancing and the wearing of masks. However, the federal government has blamed Nigerians for not complying with strict COVID-19 protocols put in place for the smooth conduct of the exercise. The federal government on Monday extended the deadline for the registration of national identification number and their linkage to mobile phone numbers. The government said the extension was to give Nigerians and legal residents more time to complete the exercise, whose earlier deadline is February 9th. Correspondent Usman Nasiru went to the streets of Abuja, the nation's capital, to get the reactions of some residents to the new deadline.
Okay, at least so far so good. The extension of 8 weeks ahead of the national ID card is something good, welcome news. But government must extend the places of the receiving the national ID card. Now, Zone 5 on, you know the work. National mosques, you know the work. If you go Anuru, you know the work. So why are we heading even after 8 weeks? It has gone. Where are we going to make it again? So they have to open places that will go and do it as a mobile something of a national ID card, so that everybody will receive his own.
My reaction is a welcome and good development. They should extend it more so that we get to every nook and cranny of this country. They should open more registration center. Like I myself, I live in outskirts of FCT. In our area and there's no way we could register, except you have to come to town. And it's not easy it's not everybody that can afford that. So they should open more registration center so that it will be easy for Nigeria.
To me, very, very important. I'm very happy with it, because with the population we have and with the landscape we have in Nigeria, this thing cannot be accomplished within that period that they have given before. To me personally, if there is need to extend it, even 1 month is better.
Well, it's a welcome development. This is for me to show that the government actually listens to the yearnings of the people, and most importantly, the need for every Nigerian to have the identity number. It's a welcome development for them to have extended the date, but most importantly, I believe that extending the date without providing more areas of registration is actually a kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I believe if they have extended the date in order to capture every other area, they should open up, like in the rural areas, the area councils. FCT has like 6 area councils. Open it up just like the way they did at during INEC registration. You have centers in the primary schools close to where you can get the rural people to be able to register.
I'm not happy about it. They're supposed to give us at least 1 year, because we are 200 million people in Nigeria, and about 150 million have not even registered this thing. Because if you want to go and register this thing in Zone 5, if you don't go in time, you will not see space. If you don't leave like 5 o'clock in the morning, you will not see space. At times, you will go, you will not be able to do. You go and come back. So that's why I said this 8 weeks is not enough. They should extend it to 1 year.
The Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi has flagged off the membership registration of the All Progressives Congress APC in the state. The exercise scheduled to take place across the 13 local government areas of the state was flagged off on Tuesday at an event held in Abakaliki, the state capital. Governor Umahi directed the commencement of the exercise in the presence of a former governor of the state, Martin Elechi, and other party stalwarts who attended the event. Delivering his keynote address, he appreciated leaders and members of the APC in Ebonyi State for their steadfastness towards the progress of the party in the state. He stressed the need for the party members in the state to support the efforts aimed at moving the APC forward and ensure that democracy delivers good and beneficial governance in the state. In his remarks, the APC chairman in Ebonyi State, Stanley Emeha, called on members to turn out en masse for the registration exercise. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is seeking the transfer of its case against former Abia State Governor Jules Okalo from the Abuja division of the Federal High Court to the one in Lagos State. It will be recalled that Senator Kalu, who was the governor of Abia State from 1999 to 2007, was earlier found guilty and handed a 12-year jail term by the Lagos division of the court. The trial court convicted him alongside his firm, Slok Nigeria Limited, and a former director of finance in Abia State, Jones Udogu, for allegedly stealing about 7.1 billion naira from the state treasury. At the court section on Tuesday, counsel for the EFCC, Chile Okoroma, informed the court of a pending letter before the chief judge, asking for the transfer of the case to Lagos. Ruling on the application, Justice Inyang Ekwo adjourned the case to June 7th. The Chairman Senate Committee on Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Senator Kabiru Gaya, says the National Assembly plans to submit the amended electoral bill to President Muhammadu Buhari in February for his assent. Gaya, who disclosed this to newsmen in Abuja, said that the National Assembly Joint Committee on INEC and Electoral Matters was working towards ensuring early passage of the bill. Gaya said that the committee was doing its best to ensure that there was a law that would guarantee free, fair and credible elections in the country. The lawmaker said further that about 87 memoranda were submitted to the committee, but after consideration, inputs were gotten from only 27 for the bill. The governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has relieved the Commissioner of Health, Dr. Salihu Kwaya Bura, of his position. The sack is contained in a statement by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Public Relations and Strategy, Malam Issa Gusau. No reason was given for the governor's sudden action. The only explanation the statement offered is that Governor Zulum's directive was part of necessary measures to reposition the ministry. Zulum thanked Kwayabura for his contributions to the development of Borno's public health sector in nearly 2 years of the current administration and the years he had served under the previous administration. Kwayabura had served in the same capacity in the previous government, a position he retained when Zulum's government came on board. As a health commissioner, he was the secretary of Borno Committee on the prevention of the spread of COVID-19, a position he now must automatically vacate. In recent time, there have been hints of a possible cabinet reshufflement by Governor Zulum. And now the stock market reports. At the close of trading on Tuesday, investors lost 160.3 billion naira as all the indicators closed red. The equity capitalization fell to 21.9 trillion naira from 22.15 trillion, a 160.3 billion naira loss. The all share index fell to 42,043.79 points from 42,357.9 points traded on Monday. The volume of stocks traded fell from 586.8 million to 556 million. Similarly, the value fell to 4.7 billion from 6 billion naira traded on Monday. The bears dominated the floor on the activity chart. There were only 9 gainers against 50 losers. The loss was anchored by high volume of shares traded by financial sectors, in which there were reduction in their share prices. The companies were Zenith Bank, Access Bank, First Bank Holdings, and UBA. The highest loser was Links Assurance PLC, where Champion Breweries was on top among the 9 gainers. And now on the foreign scene, South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma says he will not appear before a commission probing state capture, despite a ruling by the Constitutional Court compelling him to do so. Zuma said in a 6-page statement on Monday that his constitutional rights were being violated after the Constitutional Court forced him to testify at the State Capture Commission. Zuma further said he was always prepared to appear at the inquiry, but not before the Deputy Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo, whom he claimed was biased against him. The commission, which was established to investigate allegations of state capture, corruption, fraud, and other allegations in the public sector, had summoned Zuma to appear before it from February 15 to 19. Now in sports, world number 2 Rafael Nadal pulled out of Spain's opening ATP Cup tie against Australia on Tuesday, complaining of a stiff lower back. The 20-time Grand Slam champion was due to take the court against Australia's top-ranked player Alex de Minaur, but opted to rest instead as he prepares for the Australian Open next week. Nadal in a tweet added that he hoped to have recovered by Thursday when Spain meets Greece. Spanish number 2 Roberto Bautista Agut will now face de Minaur while John Millman takes on Pablo Busta in the opening rubber. Nadal, who is aiming for a record-breaking 21st Slam title in Melbourne, moving him past the injured Roger Federer, played an exhibition in Adelaide on Friday, beating Dominic Thiem 7-5, 6-4. Before we end the news, here are the headlines again. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Timi Priye-Silva warns of likely petrol scarcity over delay in resolving labor issues. And our federal government extends national identity number registration by 8 weeks. Abuja laments closure of markets as federal government goes tough on COVID-19 protocols. Please do well to stay safe, maintain physical and social distance, and wear your nose masks whilst going about your daily activities. That's the Signature TV 30 Minutes. On behalf of my producer, Damilola Abudu, I am Obomano Marvelous Chinedu. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to join us by tomorrow's Signature TV 30 Minutes.